There comes a time in everyone's life when a single word can change everything. For Jack, that moment came when he least expected it. Jack was known far and wide for his kindness and helpful nature. If anyone needed a hand, Jack was the first to offer. Whether it was fixing a neighbor's fence, running errands for an elderly couple, or staying late at work to help his colleagues, Jack never said no. If there was a problem, Jack was the first person people called, and he always showed up with a smile. But what no one knew was how exhausted Jack had become. Every time he said yes, he felt a little more tired, a little more drained. His own needs were pushed aside, and his days blurred into a cycle of running from one favor to the next. One day, Jack's little sister, Lily, came to him. Lily was everything to Jack. She was the only family he had left. She had been practicing ballet for years, working hard for her big recital. This was her moment to shine. "Jack, my recital is coming up. Will you be there to watch me?" she asked, her eyes full of hope. Jack smiled and said, "Of course, Lily. I promise I'll be there." Lily was overjoyed, and Jack felt the weight of his promise. He knew how important this was to her. As the days passed, Jack's life became a blur of commitments. By the time the day of Lily's recital arrived, Jack was drained but pushed himself, telling himself that he was doing the right thing. He had forgotten about his promise to Lily. That evening, Jack was rushing from one task to another, barely taking a moment to breathe. When he finally remembered Lily's recital, it was already dark outside. He raced to the community hall, his heart pounding. But when he arrived, the door was closed. As he stood outside the closed doors, he saw his sister on stage, looking nervously at the empty seat where he should have been. Jack felt a deep guilt as he realized he had let down the person who mattered most. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. He wandered the streets, thinking about how he had let Lily down. As he sat alone, his elderly neighbor, Mr. Edwards, approached him. "You look troubled, Jack," Mr. Edwards said. Jack sighed. "I promised Lily I'd be at her recital, but I was too busy helping everyone else. Now she's heartbroken, and I don't know how to make it right." Mr. Edwards nodded, understanding the pain in Jack's voice. "I know how you feel, Jack. I used to be just like you, always saying yes, always trying to help. But one day, I got a call that my mother was seriously ill. I rushed to her side, but by the time I arrived, it was too late. I missed her final moments because I was too busy trying to please everyone else." Jack looked at Mr. Edwards, his heart aching with empathy. "Saying no doesn't mean you don't care," Mr. Edwards continued, his voice filled with emotion. "It means you understand that you can't be everything to everyone. If you keep giving all of yourself away, there will be nothing left for the people who truly need you, like Lily." Tears welled up in Jack's eyes as Mr. Edwards' words sank in. He realized that by always saying yes, he was neglecting the person who mattered most to him, and he was losing himself in the process. The next morning, Jack found Lily sitting alone. He sat beside her and said, "I'm so sorry, Lily. I promised to be there for you, and I let you down. I've been too busy trying to help everyone else, and I forgot about what's really important, you." Lily's eyes filled with tears, but she stayed silent. Jack continued, "I promise from now on I'll be there for you. I won't let other things get in the way." Lily looked up at him and whispered, "I just wanted you to be there, Jack." Jack hugged her tightly, tears in his eyes. "I'm here now, Lily, and I'm not going anywhere." Jack's story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most important thing we can do is to say no. It's not about being selfish. It's about protecting our time, our health, and our relationships with the people who truly matter. By setting boundaries, we can live a more balanced and meaningful life, where our yes is given with full heart and purpose. So, if you find yourself overwhelmed, remember Jack's lesson. Say no when you need to, and make room for the things that truly make life worth living. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Sometimes, the strength to say no can change your life in ways you never imagined.